You've been told a lie. The harder you grind, the more you'll get. But the Stoics knew the opposite. The harder you chase, the faster it runs. Here's the shock. When you stop clenching, life starts opening. When you release the cage of desperate desire, everything you've been chasing begins to flow toward you. Marcus Aurelius wrote that life moves best when we stop wrestling against its current. Seneca warned that slavery hides not in chains, but in endless wanting. And Epictetus taught, freedom begins the moment desire no longer owns you. This is not about abandoning ambition, it's about rewiring it. 10 Stoic rules that turn struggle into rhythm and force into magnetism. So instead of exhausting yourself, you become the one everything comes to. Take this in. Calm is not weakness, calm is the magnet. And if you're ready, let's begin. 1. Desire without chains. People think desire itself is strength. It isn't. Desire is neutral. It only becomes power when you carry it with the right grip. Most people strangle their goals. They hold on so tightly their knuckles ache, and in the process they crush the very thing they wanted to keep alive. The Stoics saw this clearly. Epictetus taught, when life takes something away, don't cry that it's been stolen. Say instead, I returned it. That is not weakness, it's liberation. Think about a young man glued to his phone, refreshing for likes, waiting for hearts on a post. The more he needs approval, the emptier he feels. But the friend who posts without obsession, who moves on with calm assurance, seems to attract all the attention naturally. Desire works the same way. The more you grasp at it like a drowning man gasping for air, the more it slips away. Picture not a farmer this time, but a climber on a cliff. Grip the rope with a death lock and your arms burn out. Hold it steady with rhythm and trust, and you rise higher. The energy of sufficiency is gravity, quiet, invisible, but irresistible. Here's the twist. The moment you stop needing, you begin drawing in. The moment you set down the cage of desperation, you find yourself free, and the world begins leaning in your direction. Whisper it once for yourself, I want, but I am not chained. I act, but I am not enslaved. Let that truth sit for a second, because the tighter the fist, the faster the dream slips through your fingers. If this strikes you, type it below, I want, but I am not chained, and hit that like button. It's your signal that you're ready to walk lighter. 2. Command the now. How many hours of your life have you wasted replaying yesterday or rehearsing tomorrow? Be honest, your mind is everywhere except here. And here is the only place power exists. Seneca wrote, life is divided into 3 parts: what was, what is, and what will be. Of these, the present is brief, yet it is the only one that belongs to us. He wasn't writing poetry, he was issuing a warning. Think not only of a driver on the highway, but of a surgeon in an operating room. If her mind wanders to yesterday's mistake or tomorrow's schedule, she risks a life on the table. Power lives only in precision here, now, in this moment. And here's the strange truth. The instant you anchor in the present, the future unfolds more smoothly. Why? Because clarity lives here. Decisions made here are sharper. Attention rooted here notices openings others rush past. Now, plant yourself in this moment. Put your feet on the floor of reality. Look around. 3 things you can see, 3 you can hear, 3 you can touch. You've just stepped into the only battlefield that matters, the present. Remember this, tomorrow is only a rumor, yesterday is only a shadow. Today is the arena. Master this moment, and life itself begins to tilt toward you. Stop lingering in the lobby of your own life. Walk into the room where everything you've been waiting for is already waiting for you. 3. Resistance becomes fuel. Most people see obstacles as a sign they should quit. The Stoics saw them as the very bricks that build strength. Marcus Aurelius, who led Rome through plague and betrayal, wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Think of a blacksmith at his forge. The hammer and the fire don't destroy the iron. They carve it into a blade. In the same way, resistance doesn't crush you. It sculpts you. But let's bring it closer. Imagine a weightlifter. The iron bar pressing down is the very thing that grows his muscles. Without resistance, there is no strength. Without pressure, there is no capacity. Look closely at your own life. Every closed door has sharpened you. Every betrayal has forced your vision clearer. Every delay has carved patience into your bones. Hold that thought. Every setback was shaping, not shattering, and actually picture those moments. See how they were building you instead of breaking you. That's the truth. Period. The weak see resistance and sigh, life is against me. The strong whisper, life is preparing me. Here's the reversal. The obstacle in your path is secretly the bridge to your next level. Smooth roads breed fragile travelers. Rough terrain forges unbreakable ones. Every delay carves patience into your bones, not punishment, training. So the next time life throws a wall in front of you, don't cry, "Why me?" Ask, "What is this wall making me strong enough to carry?" Say it with me, "I grow stronger through resistance, not weaker." The storm you fear is not sent to bury you. It's sent to carve out the shape of who you must become. 4. The inner throne. Every day you hand away your power, and that's why you feel fragile. A single insult ruins your mood. A number in your account dictates your worth. A stranger's opinion on a glowing screen steals your peace. You've surrendered the throne. Epictetus warned, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Freedom is not about wealth or fame. It is about refusing to let your inner kingdom be ruled by outsiders. Picture this. Your mind is not a television. It's a castle. And yet most people throw the keys to anyone passing by. A careless comment, a random notification, an empty comparison. All of them barge in, sit on the throne, and declare how you should feel. But when you hold the keys, you decide who enters, you decide who rules. Breathe now. Notice how different it feels when you imagine holding the keys yourself. Here's the hidden truth. When your joy no longer depends on applause, opportunities come faster. People trust those who don't beg for approval. Life itself bends toward those who radiate stability. Picture yourself holding the keys to your own castle. Notice how the noise outside can't reach the throne when you're the one guarding it. And that's how strength is built. Say it with me. I am the ruler within. I don't rent out my peace. If these words resonate, subscribe now. Don't just chase another motivational clip. Live with a philosophy that makes you unshakable. And remember, if you aren't holding the keys, you aren't ruling your life. You're living in someone else's kingdom. 5. The pause that wins. In a world that glorifies constant motion, the bravest move is often stillness. We confuse activity with progress, but they are not the same. Think of a chess master. The impatient player pushes pieces just to feel busy. The master waits, studies, and when the right opening comes, a single move shifts the entire game. Or picture an archer. The crowd gets restless, but he does not rush. He draws the bow, holds the tension, breathes, and only releases when everything aligns. That pause, the moment of stillness, carries the arrow farther than frantic release ever could. The Stoics understood this deeply. Rest is not laziness. Non-action at the right time is strategy. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that ambition is measured not by constant noise, but by deliberate direction. Sometimes your ambition is served not by pushing harder, but by stepping aside and letting unseen forces align the board for you. Stillness is not weakness. Stillness is power in disguise. Hold that image. The arrow flying furthest is the one drawn back longest before release. Here's the twist. What looks like weakness is often the greatest strength. Filling every silence with noise blocks the answers trying to reach you. But when you pause, you make space for clarity to enter. So next time you feel the panic to act just to act, whisper, "Not yet. I choose patience." Say it now. Stillness is not weakness. Stillness is power in disguise. The arrow that flies furthest is the one held back longest before release. 6. Gratitude as gravity. Most people think gratitude is soft, a polite thank you before rushing back into craving more. The Stoics saw it as raw power. Gratitude is gravity. It anchors you. It pulls more of what you value toward you. Seneca wrote, "Nothing is more honorable than a grateful heart." He knew a man could own estates and gold, yet remain poor if he never felt enough. Gratitude transforms possessions into wealth, moments into treasures, struggles into lessons. Imagine not just a sailor dropping his anchor, but an astronaut in orbit. Without gravity, he floats lost, drifting in endless space. With it, he is tethered, steady, connected. Gratitude is that invisible force. When you drop your anchor into what you already have, you stop spinning in the void of endless wanting. And here's the paradox hidden in plain sight. When you live in fullness instead of lack, you stop repelling life's blessings. You become the kind of person life can trust with more. Picture an anchor sinking deep into calm waters. That's what gratitude does when you name the small things that carried you today. Say it with me. I root myself in gratitude. From that root, everything grows. Because if you can't value the cup of water in your hand, even the ocean itself would never quench you. Let me tell you something. Most people don't even make it this far. If you're still here, you're not like most. You're building the discipline Stoicism demands. 7. Emotions as servants. Most people live as slaves to their emotions. Anger arrives and they erupt. Fear whispers and they retreat. Sadness knocks and they collapse. But the Stoics taught a radical truth. Emotions are servants, not masters. Epictetus said, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them." In other words, your interpretation, not the event itself, creates your reality. Picture a wild horse. Untrained, it drags its rider into chaos. With a firm hand, the same animal becomes speed and strength. Your emotions are that horse. Either you ride them or they drag you. But let's expand the image. Think of electricity. Left uncontrolled, it burns houses down. Guided through wires, it lights entire cities. Emotions are raw energy. Unchecked, they destroy. Channeled, they build. That's it. Simple as that. Here's a reversal. When you deny emotions, they control you from the shadows. But when you face them, acknowledge them and guide them, they become your fuel. Say it with me. My emotions exist, but they do not command me. Lock that line in your mind. Instead of fighting it, ask, what is this here to teach me? How can I use this energy instead of letting it use me? Say it with me. My emotions exist, but they do not command me. Remember, emotions are not storms sent to drown you. They are winds you can shape into sails. If this helped you see emotions differently, share it. Someone you know is fighting their own storm right now. Give them this tool. 8. The wealth of enough. Modern culture shouts at you daily, you are not enough, never rich enough, never admired enough, never accomplished enough. The Stoics shattered that illusion. Seneca, who tasted both luxury and exile, wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor." Imagine two people drinking water. One sips and feels refreshed. He is rich. Another dunks his head into a river and still cries, "I'm thirsty." He is poor beyond measure. Or look at the lottery winner who suddenly has millions but ends up bankrupt, depressed, even broken within years. Because wealth without the sense of enough turns into emptiness. Here's the hidden truth. When you embrace enough, abundance multiplies. Because you no longer act from desperation. You act from clarity, from grounded strength. And that energy draws in more. Imagine standing in a room filled with everything you already own. Health, relationships, breath. Let yourself see the wealth that's been with you all along. Say it with me, I am already enough. From this truth I attract more. Because if you cannot feel rich with a little, you will remain bankrupt even with a lot. 9. Authentic fire. One of the fastest ways to kill your destiny is to live a life that doesn't belong to you. When you wear masks to please others, when you follow paths chosen by someone else, you send the universe a false signal. How can what's meant for you ever find you if it doesn't recognize you? Marcus Aurelius warned, "It never ceases to amaze me." We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. Think of a fire. A flame that burns on cheap fuel sputters and days. But a fire fed by its true element blazes steady and bright. Authenticity is that true fuel. Now picture a musician playing songs only to please the crowd. He gains applause but loses himself. Compare him to the artist who sings what burns in his soul. Maybe fewer cheer, but the music lives forever. That is authentic fire. Here's the hard truth. Being real won't make everyone love you. Some doors will close, some people will drift away. But the doors that remain open are the right ones, and the people who stay are the ones who matter. Remember that always. Let that image play in your mind. Doors close, masks fall, and what remains is your true fire. So today, speak one sentence you've been holding back. Take one step that aligns with your deepest truth. That spark is your authentic fire. Say it with me. I release the mask. I live by my true flame. Because the false self burns out fast. The real self burns for life. If you're still here, it means you're not just curious, you're hungry. And Stoicism feeds the hungry, not the lazy. 10. Trust the horizon. Impatience is the enemy of peace. You want things now on your schedule and your design. But life has its own rhythm, and the Stoics trusted that rhythm more than their own demands. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together." Think of a sailor at sea. He cannot drag the sun above the horizon. He cannot command the tide. But he knows beyond doubt that dawn will come and the tide will turn. That trust keeps him steady through the night. Or imagine planting a tree. You water it daily, but no matter how much you demand, the fruit will not ripen until its season. Trusting the horizon means respecting life's timing. Here's the unsettling truth. Delays are not denials. They are often protection. They are preparation. Sometimes you must grow into the version of yourself capable of holding what you've asked for. Other times, the world must rearrange before the door can open. So let this settle inside you. You don't need to pull the sun into the sky. You only need to be ready when it rises. How many of your greatest blessings came exactly when you expected them? Almost none. And yet they came, often in better form than you imagined. So let this settle. You don't need to pull the sun into the sky. You only need to be ready when it rises. Say it with me. I trust the horizon. What's meant for me cannot miss me. And remember this before we close. Chase life and you collapse. Stand still with trust, and life itself kneels before you. These 10 Stoic rules are not lofty philosophy. They are armor, forged in fire, carried through centuries, meant for moments exactly like the ones you face. Desire without chains, power in the present, fuel from resistance, the throne within, the pause that wins, gratitude as gravity, emotions as servants, the wealth of enough, the authentic fire, and trust in the horizon. Together they form a fortress, not of stone, but of mind. A fortress no betrayal, no storm, no failure can topple. And remember this before you leave. Chase life and you collapse. Stand steady and life kneels. Which one are you choosing today? Say it with me. I live steady. I live free. I live enough. If these rules gave you strength, show it. Like, subscribe, and comment. I live steady. I live free. That's how we build this circle stronger.